Just here with Jack
Hey
to
guys.
work on this 2013 21.5 Mac. It's got a hard drive and 8 gigs of RAM. So we're attempting to swap the hard drive with a solid state and upgrade the memory from 8 to 16, which is the bulk of this work. Like, it's 90% of this job. The SSD is a pretty straightforward job that we do all the time. Memory we generally just leave, as you're going to see what a massive job it is to do. So let's get started.
All right, guys, we're going to start off with our fancy suction cup. The suction cup is the key to this whole thing. Now, a lot of people recommend prying this screen off with a pick tool. I think that's a terrible idea because you will break the screen. Buy a proper tool. Looks like a little pizza cutter. Great little tool. Gets in there and you just roll it along and you're going to break the adhesive. Much easier than picking at it.
Is there generally a little gap down here that you can get started at if it hasn't been repaired?
There's a gap pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
This is a very thin little tool. Like, you can't even really see down the edge of it. And it'll get in there because the adhesive is more like a foam, which is nice. So you're cutting the foam. And I like how Apple does that. They do make it repairable and upgradable. Even though they claim they don't want you to do it, they really do. And it takes a bit of working. You just gotta work it. Don't pull on the screen. Don't pry too much because it will break.
Probably why people charge a little more for this sort of work, because there is a risk in breaking the screen. And if you break it, for a 27-inch anyway, it's $800. For this, it's probably $400 or $500. So you really want to go slow and easy.
Yep, no rush. I'm still feeling the adhesive, so I'm still working it. But it's starting to break free now. And we're gonna tip it here, and then we're gonna have a seat and see what we can do with it. It should, if you're lucky, just lift. And looks like we're lucky today. There we go. And underneath here, if you guys want to get down there, we got a couple wires we got to get through. This guy, the first one, is just going to be a pull-out, quite easy. This one's got a little tab you want to lift.
Little handle that goes up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then,
Just get in there, check out the handle.
once you've lifted it, you can then pull it out. And then,
That's the display.
with our screen, this we want to be careful of because you got edges up here. So you want to kind of pull out and lift up. That way you don't
chip the edges.
exactly.
Okay.
And then just go slow. It will come. It doesn't want to, but it will.
That's one strip that we couldn't really get at with the adhesive removal tool.
Right. But we're just going to keep pulling a little bit. And it is being stubborn, as sometimes they are. Let's try getting this in here and seeing what happens. I'm going to try and get my fingers on this. I'm going to try and pull this
You want to
out.
hold this?
Sure.
Okay.
This is the adhesive strip. Might just let us do that, which is fantastic.
Just like that.
And then we got another one here.
Perfect.
So that's that side out. And let's do the same thing here. See, I don't know if it gets easier than this.
There we go.
And then we can
Nice.
lift the screen off. This we want to get out of the way. Far, far out of the way. Okay, so we're going to start off by taking out the hard drive because we have to take the hard drive out anyway to get to the RAM.
Yeah, so we've got some Torx.
Yep. Break out the old trusty kit. Got all the good tools in there. We're going to
Is
try
that an
and rack
iFixit
one
kit
up.
or a generic kit?
This is an older iFixit kit. They have gotten a lot better, but I've still got the bits.
Is that a
of this
T8?
guy. First try.
Look at that.
I like keeping the screws together. Don't take the screws right out. Just try and keep them with the brackets and not in the fan. Quite easy there to get at the drive, if I'm honest. One of the easiest things in this Mac to upgrade.
And one of the best upgrades, if not the best. The drive's gonna make all the difference. The RAM, well, it's just nice having 16, but 8's usually okay.
Yep. Well, this guy is nice and tight. You're gonna have to be careful plugging this back in. Let's get these Wi-Fi antennas plugged back in. These guys are a little tricky. Gotta be careful. You know, I just like lining them up with my fingers here, and then I use a plastic tool to push down. Nice little click.
Nice.
They are hard to grab onto. Number 2. Number 3. And number 4. This is the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi antennas.
There you go. Looking good.
Let's get the
So
power
far, so
supply
good.
back in there. Now the power supply's got this wire here, which goes underneath. This is gonna be fun pushing back in. Let's use our mouse pad again. Just to not scratch anything unnecessarily. Excellent.
Just like that. Click. That's the sound we want to hear. And then our main connector for the supply.
Kind of just feeling for it.
Snaps in.
There we go.
Click. Good to go.
And now we can move this out of the way. We're gonna have to wiggle this guy back in place. It's quite difficult, if I'm honest. It's difficult. Yeah. Just gotta push. See, one thing we're trying to avoid.
Do you want me to lift up on the plastic a bit?
No,
Bring this one.
no, we're just gonna slide past it. And looks like we lost it a little bit. I'm gonna try and hold it this time. There we go.
Nice.
Look at that.
Nicely done. So far, so good, guys.
Gotta watch out for this wire. I'm getting some kind of resistance. I think it is my power supply wire. So I'm gonna tuck this guy underneath. That is better.
Yeah.
You know what we are missing? Before we screw that down, we need to put the drive bracket back in. That goes in there.
Well, that's the spacer.
Yep.
There's a bit of a guide under there.
I'm not fond of the guide because it makes the wire tight, but I don't think it'll go down otherwise.
Fits in there well.
There we are. This guy's still nice and free.
Perfect. And the power switch, right?
Yep. Are we still semi-free?
Kind of. It's a bit of a bind, but
I don't know if there's any right way to put that. I don't think there is. I think it just goes right here.
okay.
Just kind of. There we go. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then we'll plug it back in after.
Perfect.
Oh, hi Matthew, this is Jen from Signal. How are you? I'm good, thank you. I'm calling you regarding your email. How can I help you?
Okay. Power supply's in. Just connect the last wire.
Tucking the wire in.
So for, remotely.
Yep. There we go. Goes on. Actually, it goes on this side.
And let's just plug it in.
I like it better on the other side.
For sure. Is your dad located in Toronto? Oh,
Nice
Looks
and
good.
clean.
Yes.
okay. No problem. We actually.
Okay, now we're loosening up the cooling fan.
Yep, again, trying to keep the screws together. If they don't have to come out of the hole, just leave them in there. There we go. That guy is out of there. Now we're going to loosen off the heatsink, because that's got to be free.
Okay, again, kind of nice that it's one Torx driver for everything.
Yes. Okay, now it's time to get handy.
Need a little more torque on that Torx.
Those screws, we are going to put those aside. I'm actually not convinced those had to come out, but I think, you know, and we got a different bit there. Now we got to get creative and
I
find the
don't know
right
if you have to
bit.
take off the heatsink. I think you
do.
can just loosen the board and pull the board out.
The
No?
heatsink is attached to the board underneath the board. So if the board
That's
has
true.
to come out, the heatsink has to come out.
Good point. Not questioning the master at all. Well, I did, but it's okay.
These guys have to come out of that metal.
Don't know why we don't have a magnetic mat here for screws, but
Who's there? Now we're going to remove the left speaker. Or the right speaker, depending on how you look at it. These guys, we have to free these guys out from their channel. These wireless antennas.
oh yeah, what it's interwoven in the speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
There.
Nice.
So that's nice and
Yeah.
easily removed. Disconnect this guy up here.
Pull
Nice
up
and
clip.
careful.
That's the speaker wire.
Mm-hmm. Now the speaker.
And I think it's the same as the power supply. It's kind of hooked under there a little bit. Or that was the board. The motherboard, I can't remember. It's one of the two.
The speaker is in there pretty good. There is supposed to be a trick
Yeah,
to remove
actually,
it.
I don't think you've got to remove it, Jack. Honestly, just leave it right there.
Leave her over to the side.
You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, and let's just take the board out.
Okay. There's going to be 4 bits for the 4 screws for the board.
It really is a work of art, honestly, even for an older Mac. It's just really nicely done.
These screws are all the same size. Makes everything easier. Okay, now the board should be free. We got 1 screw we missed right here. We're going to put that over with the rest of them.
There we go.
Okay, now everything
And
is
the
free.
board is coming out. Drum roll, please.
Just go super slow.
Thank you, Nicole.
Super slow. Don't pull. It takes a bit of playing.
I know.
Just to wiggle. You know, honestly,
Gotta
guys,
kinda finagle it out.
we don't have to take
Don't
it
have
out.
to. Let's just do that.
There we go.
No, okay, I'll hold the board.
Got the RAM.
Old 4 gig stick. Another 4 gig stick.
Dropping in 2/8.
Oh yeah. Power up. What am I gonna do with all that RAM? Start video editing.
Before we do any of that, let's just give it a quick clean
Okay.
with a can of air.
Right. Nice and clean. Just to avoid popping them in, firing it up and having it not recognize one module, we'd end up with 8 gigs again. Would not be good. Would it, Nicole?
Nope.
See? Thank you.
Nope.
From this
Do you want
angle.
me to hold the board or
Actually,
you okay?
yeah, no, I'm gonna have to hold the board.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. Go for it. Need a flashlight?
No.
Just a gentle little snap in, push down, click, into place. Oh yeah. That's what 8 gigs sounds like right there. Straight 8 gigs going to a Mac. 8 gigs. 8 gigs. Now we're going 16.
Like magic.
It is. Another solid sound, my good man.
Now we're ready to drop her back in. Make sure everything is out from under the board so we don't have to go back in for it later. And it doesn't hurt to look to see if our ports line up underneath. Do they? They look like they do.
I think they do.
Yep.
Yeah. Because you didn't take the board out. That's awesome. An added bonus. Lined up ports are good.
Oh, I love that music.
A Harley blasting some music. Yeah.
The wrong bit. Let's go back to the proper bit.
Hopefully it's not enough to have YouTube have a problem with this video. I don't think it will. If there's music playing,
It's a mouth.
yeah. I apologize for being so in your face here. I'm trying to get back a little bit and give you room to work.
No
But I just keep
worries.
sneaking in there to get a close-up shot of all this fine workmanship here.
We got 2 screws in there. Let's have a look at the ports again. What does everyone think there?
They look flawless.
If I'm
How about the
honest,
power port?
the Ethernet port. Power hasn't moved because it just gets plugged in.
Well, you want to try it? Try your cable. Does look a little off, but maybe it was like that in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no issue there.
It's fine.
Let's try memory key.
Port's real good. Okay.
I just like making sure these screws line up, if I'm honest. That looks better.
A little bit of fine tuning of the board.
It doesn't take any extra time to be perfect.
Nicole's quite curious about what's going on with this Mac. Do you have any questions? This is a Q&A session here. We can answer any questions you may have about this iMac. Okay?
Does it has warranty?
Does it have a warranty? Yes, it's got a 30-day warranty, Chen. Thank you for asking.
Can I, if I want to extend the warranty, how much will it be?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let's say $199 for 1 year.
Okay. Can you guys set it up to my house?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Can you transfer all my data from my old Mac, my new one?
Yeah.
my new
Can you?
Mac?
That's
Yes.
a big deal.
We'd be
That's a
happy
big
to.
deal.
We'd be very happy to.
Is that
Because
including all
we're
the
not trying-
pictures?
Yes, it's including the pictures. I'll show
not
you the
trying to
drive that
lose
we're
any
transferring
data.
from, actually. Let me just go get it. So we're going to be transferring from this A data drive. This is our old data drive. This is got a time machine backup. So we're transferring from this to this newly upgraded Mac when we're done.
Interesting. And what is
And,
Jack currently
and
doing?
instead of using this whole hard drive,
Yeah.
we've got a new 1 terabyte solid state, which is right there, and that's going in this crucial drive for installing the solid state. So it's going to be 500% faster.
Without crashing anything.
It should not crash. Fingers crossed.
Come to Signet today.
See that? Okay, just tucking back in the Wi-Fi antenna
Yep, getting it
into
back
the right
into
speaker.
a little channel here.
Very nice.
Oh yeah, you get the whole bag. Mine.
Head out.
Okay. That's okay.
Connectors in.
Easier. You're right. Yeah. It is actually a little friendly but easy.
Drive tucks in there nice and neat.
Easier to-
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Excellent.
And then we're gonna get these brackets back on.
Yeah, Signal computer system. Yeah. Check. Yeah.
There you go.
For
Thank
sure,
you.
CHEN. I'm the customer service. Yeah, it's okay. I'm the customer service manager here. And so we could help you out. So for the consultation fee, we charge $150 an hour. So that will be probably
Okay, that's it for now. We're gonna take a few minutes and re-adhesive the screen.
So during the telephone.
We don't want to set the screen on the adhesive. We want to just kind of put it off to the side
I
there.
can hold it while you can connect it.
Yeah, we're gonna bring it down more. Down, down,
The
down.
connectors.
They go in nice and easy. Don't force anything. And we're in now. The tricky part here is lining this all up. We want this to be as perfect as possible. Nice and tight against the bottom.
Okay, I think we're gonna get Chen to hold the phone. One sec.
Yep, I'll hold the screen up in the middle.
And we're good to go. Oh, okay. That was pretty close. I think we're bang on.
Okay, is that where we want to be?
It is.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I
Nice
think
tight
we
fit.
did it.
Great. Okay guys, so we've inserted our OS image in the back there. Right, the key, and we're booting up Catalina right now, and we're just about to install it, so. All right, so far so good. Beautiful. We don't want to restore? Oh, we can't do it yet. We need an OS.
Actually, that is a good question. Can you restore from here? We have. I
Yep,
think we can.
there we go.
to be
Okay, let's
perfectly
do it.
honest.
Yeah,
Why
it
don't we
is.
try
It's a
this?
backup of Catalina, so we'll do that.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we got the external hard drive with our time machine backup inserted. And let's click continue. This is actually a new option. I don't actually do this very often. I'll
Saves a
usually-
bit of time.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, very nice.
Perfect. Looking good. Nice disk.
All right. And we'll let that go.
That's it. And we'll be back at you in a while. Okay, so it looks like we've got an hour and 24 minutes remaining. Everything's going well. Okay guys, the restore's done. And we are up and running here. 16 gigs of 1600 to DDR3. So that's awesome. The solid state, can we look at the solid state? Click on the storage tab. Actually, there we go. Solid state's there. We've used almost nothing. There we go. Yeah, almost a gig of a terabyte. So, job well done. Okay, and let's do a reboot and let's see how fast it goes.
Yep, we're actually still just indexing the drive. I'm gonna let that go for a minute.
Okay.
And then we'll reboot.
And that's it.